Part 37. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 361. I kill you. Hiroshi Nakamura staggered towards Yuan-ta. No way, this kick caused great psychological and physical damage to the man, and Nakamura Hiroshi's combat effectiveness was greatly reduced. Yuan-ta is also a level 3 awakener. He is small and nimbly evaded Nakamura Hiroshi's slaughter. I'll go, when did MRSUN become so powerful? I remember that he was still a first-level awakener when he went to sea. Judging from the current speed, he seems to be more powerful than me. No matter how powerful it is probably not an opponent of Nakamura Hiro. It's hard to say, Hiroshi Nakamura looks like his egg is broken, and his combat power is greatly reduced. Come on, Yuan-ta. The fishermen on the side all looked nervously at Yuan-ta and Nakamura Hiroshi. It's not that they don't want to come forward to help, but they are afraid that the battle will be too big and will attract the attention of other officers in the camp. If all the officers are attracted, they are screwed. Yuan-ta flexibly evaded Nakamura Hiroshi's attack, and he could fight back several times from time to time, but Nakamura Hiroshi became more and more impatient. However, as Nakamura Hiroshi adapted to the pain at the balls, the scene began to change. The pressure on Yuan-ta was increasing, and it became difficult to dodge. Suddenly, Hiroshi Nakamura seized an opportunity and punched Yuan-ta in the ribs. This punch, he used all his strength. If it hits, at least Yuan-ta's half-life can be abolished. Yuan-ta's heart tightened. He also knew the power of this punch. But he had no time to dodge, so he could only resist. Just as Nakamura Hiro's fist was about to hit Yuan-ta, his fist suddenly stopped. Yuan-ta was surprised to find that Nakamura Hiroshi had a crab claw stuck in his fist. It should be the crab claws that prevented Hiroshi Nakamura's fist from hitting him. Yuan-ta looked back, and the fishermen all looked blank, obviously ignorant of this crab claw. When she saw Wang Ran, MRSUN knew right away. Laughing so happily, it must be the black hand of the big brother. Yuan-ta is more confident. While Nakamura Hiroshi was still in a daze, Genta directly stretched out his hand and slammed into Nakamura Hiroshi's eyes. What? Hiroshi Nakamura screamed and took a few steps back. His two eyes suddenly swelled up like two balls. Young people have no martial virtue. They put their eyes in. Nakamura Hiroshi's eyesight was less than 1/10, and he panicked all of a sudden. Yuan-ta did not miss this opportunity, rushed up to launch a violent attack on Nakamura Hiroshi. Nakamura Hiroshi is visually impaired and can only slap his fists. Under Wang Ran's secret protection, Yuan-ta didn't even take a punch. On the contrary, Hiroshi Nakamura had a lot of crab claws on his body. Hiroshi Nakamura felt both fear and grievance in his heart. Who is playing him? Unfortunately, Hiroshi Nakamura's eyes were so swollen that he couldn't open them, and he didn't even know who was playing with him. Following Yuan-ta's chaotic fist, Nakamura Hiroshi finally couldn't hold it anymore and fell to his knees. I won. Great, I won. Yuan-ta jumped up happily, not caring about the wound on his fist. MSUN, great. You have given us glory. Boy, you can't see it, you can't hide it. The fishermen gathered around, lifted Yuan-ta and threw it into the air. At this time, the officers in the camp finally noticed this. More than a dozen officers with the strength of the third-level awakeners quickly gathered near the main tent. They looked at the scene in front of them in shock. The boss of the camp, Hiro Nakamura, a level 5 awakened, knelt on the ground, his face was beaten into a pig's head. And the little fisherman Mikami Yuan-ta was constantly thrown into the sky by the fishermen. You don't need to think about it to know what's going on. Camp boss, got hummed. Wang Ran walked out with a smile, it was time to end. Listen, this camp, now he's the boss. Wang Ran pointed to Yuan-ta. If anyone disagrees, Wang Ran raised his foot and directly stepped on Nakamura Hiro's head on the ground, stepping on it with one foot. The officers all trembled. It's terrible, their boss is so cold. Who dares to disagree with this? Boss. Welcome to the new boss. The officers raised their hands and rushed towards Yuan Tai. Yuan was also stunned. Become the boss yourself? What's the situation? I just couldn't bear to see this bullying my grandfather and wanted to beat him up. Just become the boss. Yuan Tai looked at Wang Ran. Wang Ran gave him an encouraging look. All right. Yuan Tai nodded and accepted the role of boss. Soon, Yuan discovered that being the boss is really a very happy thing. He and his grandfather lived directly in the big tent, and there were all kinds of food, drinks in the tent. The treatment of the fishermen has also improved a lot. They are all arranged near the main tent, and the food supply has also been treated at the officer level. Come to think of it, they don't need to take the risk to go fishing at sea in the future. After the crowd dispersed, only Wang Ran and Grandpa Yuan were left in the main tent. Big brother, thank you. Yuan Tai sat down directly. The old fisherman also knelt down. Although he didn't know exactly what was going on, he knew that Wang Ran must have helped his grandson to become the leader of the camp. Okay, there's no need to be so serious. Wang Ran smiled. This kneeling posture is too professional. Big brother, if it weren't for you, we would be bullied by these guys. Now we can eat and drink here, thanks to you, big brother. Yuan Tai said very sincerely. Didn't I eat one of your oranges too? You're welcome. Next, if you stay in this camp, your life should be very comfortable. Do you want to stay here to be the boss, or to save your sister? Wang Ran asked with a smile. Of course I'm going to save my sister. I must save my sister and make you my wife for my eldest brother. Yuan Tai said seriously. Cough cough, just save it, the second half of the sentence is unnecessary. Wang Ran coughed. My sister is so pretty. Big brother, do you like men? Yuan Tai was shocked. How to feel a little scared. Don't think too much. Wang Ran tapped Yuan Tai on the head. Yuan Tai covered her head and stuck out her tongue. By the way, have you ever thought about it, if you go to your sister, what will you do here? The current world is all about strength. Once you leave, these fishermen can't hold back those officers. Wang Ran reminded. Yuan Tai's current strength is between the 3rd and 4th levels, and he can still hold down those 3rd-level officers. But as soon as Yuan Tai left, the remaining fishermen were the most powerful at 2 levels. It was really hard to say what would happen. Yeah. If you want to be a big brother, help me to save my sister. Yuan Tai's eyes lit up. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 362. I go. Wang Ran was stunned. Is it so direct? You came to sit down just now, and now you start to call yourself? Big brother, according to what you just said, I really can't leave all of a sudden. Just help me. Yuan Tai begged. He has always been concerned about rescuing his sister. I'm here to travel. Saving people takes a lot of effort to say. Wang Ran muttered in his heart. Where is your sister locked up? Is the scenery good? Wang Ran asked. She's locked up at Fushimi Inari Shrine. It used to be a famous tourist attraction there. Yuan Tai replied. Tourist attractions, okay, I'll go there and take a look. By the way, your sister doesn't know me either. She shouldn't come with me, right? What if she treats me as a flower thief? Wang Ran thought of the problem. You said that I asked you to help save her. Well, by the way, you can tell a secret that outsiders don't know. My sister has a mole on her butt. Yuan Tai thought about it. I'm going, how did you know? Wang Ran squinted at Yuan Tai. Could it be the kind of plot in the comics? Tisk tisk. Big brother, don't think about it. My mother told me. Yuan Tai explained anxiously. He's not that kind of person. Okay, then I'll try it out. I can't guarantee that I can save her. Wang Ran said with a smile. Since it is a famous scenic spot, go take a look yourself, and save people while traveling. Ah, little brother Wang Ran, thank you so much. You helped my grandson, and you are going to save my granddaughter. I don't know how to thank you. Do you like fish? Why don't I go out and catch a few for you? The tuna I cut was delicious. The old fisherman said while holding Wang Ran's hand. Apart from this, he couldn't think of how to repay Wang Ran. No, I just ate a lot of seafood yesterday. You guys should have a good rest here, the sea is too dangerous, it's better to go less in the future. Okay, I'll find a place to sleep and leave early tomorrow morning. Wang Ran stretched and walked out of the tent. He hadn't slept for 2 days, and he should have a good rest. As soon as he went out, Wang Ran saw several third-level officers gathered in a corner to discuss something sneakily. Wang Ran smiled. From this one can guess, it must be that Nakamura Hiroshi's cronies, unwilling to be seized by the management of the camp, got together and wanted to do something. Then do some exercise before bed. Wang Ran walked lazily to that corner. When the 5 people in the corner saw Wang Ran approaching, they immediately became nervous. You guys, what are you doing here? Are you walking the birds? Wang Ran asked indifferently. We smoke. A third-level officer hurriedly pulled out a pack of cigarettes. When Wang Ran went up, he slapped the third-level officer's head. Come on, what are you doing? Wang Ran asked coldly. The remaining 4 were all shocked. Slap the head of a third-level awakened person with a slap? This is too scary. Hiroshi Nakamura may not be able to do it. We just couldn't sleep, came out for a walk. Another third-level officer said tremblingly. Snapped. Another slap. The head of this third-level officer was also blown up. Does anyone want to die? Can you be honest and give each other a little trust? Wang Ran glared at them and said. Several officers looked at each other with fear in their eyes. It seems that there is no way out for lying. Then be honest. Us. We are discussing, killing you while you are asleep, and taking back control of the camp. Brother, this is all his idea, we haven't agreed yet. An officer pointed to the man beside him. Hey, don't just talk about me. Who was there then complaining that the boss was dead, so depressed and sad and so on? The clerk who was sold immediately blamed the person who explained it. I just expressed an emotion, and I didn't say that I wanted to kill someone. Your organization, we want to do things, and we still rely on me now. The 2 quarreled. At this time, Wang Ran suddenly raised his hand. Snapped. Another slap. The secretary who had been silent for a while was directly smashed to pieces by Wang Ran. The 2 people who were arguing were stunned for a moment. They were both scared and a little dazed. How did you kill the one who didn't speak? I said just now, let you be honest. You are obedient, so say it obediently. That guy didn't talk, he just didn't give me face, so I killed him. Do you understand now? Wang Ran asked coldly. Understood. The 2 who survived nodded desperately. This guy is too brutal. He kills people when he says he kills them. He doesn't even give him a chance to beg for mercy. This kind of person can't be bothered. Very good. You heard me clearly what I said next. You have the idea of rebelling, I can understand. But since I found out, you should completely dismiss this idea. I kill you, as easy as squeezing an ant. You should have no doubts about this, right? Wang Ran asked. Yes. The 2 nodded in succession. Sometimes you have to use two hands to slap mosquitoes. This guy can kill someone with a slap. Who would dare to resist? I believe that there should be more than you in this camp who want to rebel. Now I have appointed you as special investigators. As long as someone is found to have unscrupulous attempts and ideas of rebellion, they will be resolved on the spot. If you do well, I can make you feel more comfortable in this camp. Do you understand? Wang Ran asked. As Nakamura Hiroshi's confidants, these people are the most suitable to do this. With this arrangement, Wang Ran can also go to Fushimi Inari Taisha to find Genta's sister with confidence. Got it? Got it? Don't worry, boss, we will definitely catch all the mice. The two hurriedly nodded in agreement, for fear of another slap in the face if it was too late. Okay, let's get rid of the body. Wang Ran stretched and returned to his tent. With no girls around, Wang Ran could finally sleep soundly. It's so relaxing. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 363. Wang Ran slept until dawn. After a good rest, I feel much better. As soon as Wang Ran stepped out of the tent, several fishermen came around. Little brother, hurry up and have some breakfast. It's all fresh grilled fish and grilled shrimp. The fishermen greeted them warmly. Wang Ran nodded and followed them to have a simple breakfast. It's business as usual in the camp, not messed up by the change of the camp boss. It seems that everyone is a mature survivor and knows what is best for them. After breakfast, Grandpa Yuan and his grandson sent Wang Ran to the gate of the camp. Big brother, please save my sister. If it is rescued, we can be a cow or a horse for you. Yuan Tai said very sincerely. You don't need to be a cow or a horse. I'm not short of coolies either. Just go back and give me another orange. Wang Ran smiled and waved his hand, and set foot on the road of sightseeing. Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine is in the capital next to Daban. According to the route given by Yuan Ta, Wang Ran only needs to follow the JR traffic line to reach the foot of Fushimi Inari Taisha. Wang Ran found a square-headed Mitsubishi car with sufficient fuel along the road and embarked on the journey. Along the way, Wang Ran played a CD, listened to old songs from the 1980s, and looked at the rice fields along the way. He was very happy. No wonder workers always want to travel. It is really refreshing to relax after stressful situations. After driving for several hours, Wang Ran finally came to the foot of the mountain at Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine. It was impossible to drive on the way up the mountain, so Wang Ran had to abandon the car and walk. Passing through the red torii gates, Wang Ran walked slowly towards the top of the mountain. In the main hall of the mountaintop Taisha Shrine, a girl in a white dress and a red hakama was sitting in the center of the main hall. There was a hint of sadness on the girl's beautiful face. She must have encountered some trouble. Not far away, several clergymen in protective suits and gas masks placed plates of food at the entrance of the hall. They looked very cautious and didn't dare to get too close. Can you, let me go? The girl opened her cherry mouth and begged. The few clergymen paid no attention to the girl's words, put down their plates and quickly evacuated. The door of the main hall was closed, and the light in the hall dimmed again. The girl sighed and stepped forward to take the plate. On the plate are fruits, grilled chicken thighs and some vegetables. In Doomsday, these foods are exquisite. But girls have no appetite. Being stuck here, eating the same thing every day, makes one unhappy. After taking 2 bites, the girl sat back in the center of the hall. Not long after, the door of the main hall opened, and there were several more heavily armed clergymen. After they sprayed a lot of disinfectant liquid, they took back the food left by the girls. Not long after, an old man appeared at the door of the hall. Although he was not wearing a protective suit, he still wore a gas mask. Judging from the respectful attitudes of the clergy next to him, the old man must have a very high status. Lord Liu's hung. How long are you going to lock me up? The girl yelled at the door. Yuya, you should know what's going on by yourself. If you let you out, what harm will it cause to others? You'd better stay here obediently. After the old man finished speaking, he closed the hall door and turned to leave. The girl Yuya stomped her feet. It looks like it's impossible to go out after a good negotiation. Bored to death. I have to go out and get some air. Yuya ran behind a pillar in the main hall. There is a slightly cracked floor there. Yuya took out a chicken thigh bone from her clothes, leaned it on the pillar and the floor, and stepped on it with her foot. The chicken thigh bone was directly broken into 2 pieces. Yuya took the sharp chicken bone and started to pry up the floor. Judging from the pitted marks on the floor, she didn't dig less before. Not long after, with a soft sound, she was really dug through. Yuya almost cried out happily. I'll go out to get some air, and I'll be back in a while. Guaranteed not to touch anyone. Yuya murmured softly. After completing the mental construction, Yuya lifted another board and climbed down the hole. Below the floor is an overhead floor, and Yuya is crawling on the ground cautiously. Her goal is the rear of the main hall, and if she climbs out from there, she can reach the creek in the back mountain. The air there is fresh and sparsely populated, which is the best place to breathe. Yuya moved very slowly on the ground, for fear of making too much noise. Just as Yuya was about to climb out from the back of the main hall, footsteps suddenly sounded not far away. Yuya immediately fell to the ground, motionless. After the 2 walked to the main hall, they stopped near Yuya. The witch has asked many times these days to go out for a walk. I'm afraid we're about to lose her. A low voice said. Just hold on. That lord will be promoted to corpse emperor soon. As long as he successfully advances, we can dedicate the witch to him. At that time, we can get the protection of that adult. A hoarse voice said softly. Yuya, who was crawling on the ground, was shocked. This voice, is Yajiyo-sama. Who are they discussing to give them to? Yuya immediately covered her mouth, for fear of making a sound. Lord Liu's hung, what if she doesn't want to be Miko-sama? After all, the other party is an old man and a zombie. The low voice was a little tangled. It's okay, the witch is pure in nature, we just need to tell her that she is going to participate in the Tenjin festival. When the time comes, the adult will take the shot personally, and he will definitely be able to take the witch away smoothly. Lu Sheng old man smiled. 2. The virus on the witch is so terrible that no one can bear it. It is estimated that the corpse emperor can bear the toxicity on her body. The witch is young and beautiful, the Lord accepted her. If you are happy, maybe you will give us something to reward us. The low voice also laughed. Okay, keep an eye on me these days, don't make any trouble. From today onwards, put some sleeping pills in the food, try to keep the witch in a groggy state. It is estimated that in the next 2 days, that adult will be promoted to corpse emperor. The old man Lu Sheng reminded. Don't worry, I'll make a big deal. Hey, why do you say that the adult is so troublesome, and he has to wait until the gods sacrifice? Can't you pick up the witch earlier? It's a lot of pressure to lock the witch every day. The man sighed. Add more. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 364. You also know that the adult is very old and a very traditional person. For him, it is the most ritualistic to become a corpse emperor, and then combine with the witch at the gods' festival. He thinks that if he does this, he can step onto the altar and become a that everyone admires. Let's just listen to him, don't think about it so much. Okay, go and arrange for guards, and increase the guard force these days. Lu Sheng old man ordered. Understood, Liu-sama. After the two finished speaking, they left the back of the hall together. Yuya, who was crawling on the ground, covered her mouth tightly, and her body couldn't help shaking. Too terrifying. This is simply horrible. I didn't expect these people to lock themselves up for. After the Doomsday broke out, Yuya was found to be carrying a terrible virus. Anyone who gets close to her will quickly turn into zombies. Even the awakened will turn into zombies because of the poison. At that time, many people wanted to put Yuya to death. But the old man Liu Hung came forward to protect Yuya. At that time, Yuya was still very moved. Even if she knew that she was going to die to sacrifice to the gods during the deity sacrifice, she had no complaints. Originally, Yuya thought that they locked themselves here so that they would no longer hurt others. Who would have thought that the old man Lu Sheng actually wanted to dedicate himself to a corpse emperor? Still an old corpse king. Yuya's eyes suddenly turned red. No, I can't stay here any longer. I'm running away. Yuya quickly made a decision. Staying here, your end will definitely be. Must go. Yuya observed it carefully, and after confirming that no one was there, she quietly crawled out. There were no guards behind the hall, and Yuya easily escaped from the back of the hall to the back mountain. Along the way, Yuya was extremely cautious. After escaping a few waves of patrolling guards, Yuya finally came to the stairs down the mountain. As long as she goes all the way down the stairs, she can escape. Yuya didn't know where she could go, but it was better to escape than to be given to some old corpse emperor. Oops. Yuya's foot hurt and she fell to the ground. Bleeding. Yuya looked at the soles of her feet. In order to keep quiet, she had long since lost her clogs, and only a pair of white socks protected her delicate feet all the way. As a result, a sharp pebble pierced directly into the sole of her foot. No, I can't stop, they will chase after me when they find I'm gone. I have to keep going. Yuya dragged her injured foot and moved down step by step. This speed is much slower than before. However, as long as she dares to run to the foot of the mountain and find a car before they find out, she can escape smoothly. Yuya was anxious, and accidentally stepped on a stone with her uninjured foot. Oops. Yuya twisted her feet and rolled down the steps directly. After about a dozen steps, Yuya finally stopped. It hurts. Yuya rubbed her head. Fortunately, she is now the physique of a third-level awakener, and rolling down is at most a little flesh wound. As soon as she looked up, Yuya was suddenly stunned. A man was squatting in front of him, looking at himself. You go away. Yuya shrank back immediately. One's own physique, ordinary people will be finished when they get close. She didn't want to involve strangers. I said you're a bit too much. You rolled in front of me yourself, and I have no intention of doing anything to you. This person is Wang Ran. Wang Ran walked leisurely up the mountain while eating the snacks from the bottom of the mountain. Unexpectedly, halfway through, a beautiful girl rolled to his feet. No. That's not what I meant. Those who are close to me will have bad luck. Yuya explained softly. At first, Yuya thought that she was a cursed person, but she later learned that it was related to something like a virus. Anyway, you can't infect others. What age is this, and bad luck? You have to believe in science. By the way, is this the way to go to Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine? Wang Ran asked. It's the right way, but... What are you doing there? Now is not the time for tourism. Yuya took a look. Wang Ran was wearing a straw hat, a binoculars around his neck, and snacks in his hands. Like enough of a tourist to travel. Hey, you're dressed like this. Are you a witch? Do you know someone named? Hey, what's it called? I seem to have forgotten to ask. Wang Ran scratched his head. I only know that the other party is Yuan Tai's sister, but I don't know her name. Embarrassed. Hey, I can't chat with you anymore. Someone is catching me, I have to run away. With Wang Ran as the center, Yuya walked in a big circle and came behind Wang Ran, for fear of infecting him with the virus. At this time, the sound of dense footsteps came from the stairs on the mountain. The old man Lu Sheng chased down with a dozen people. Sans Hang Yuya. How dare you run away? Do you know how much harm you will do to the world if you run out? The old man Lu Sheng, who was headed by him, wore a gas mask and scolded him sharply. Yuya was shocked. Did you catch up so quickly? My foot was injured, and it seemed difficult to run away. Humph. Don't think I don't know. You locked me just to give me to some old corpse emperor. Don't pretend to be sane. Yuya shouted angrily. You actually know. It's okay to know. In 2 days, it will be the deity sacrifice. If you tear your face, you will tear your face. Just hand you over to that lord on time. The old man Lu Sheng stopped pretending and showed his true face. Wang Ran, who was standing in the middle, understood. This witch is Yuan Tai's sister. And these people in protective suits and gas masks wanted to capture her and give it to some old corpse emperor. It's that simple, just take this girl and leave. It's a pity, Wang Ran originally planned to visit the main hall on the top of the mountain. You guys, go back where you came from. I took this witch. Wang Ran walked towards Yuya as he spoke. Yuya was a little confused by what Wang Ran said, and she forgot to avoid Wang Ran. Take yourself away? Is this man really here to pick flowers? This is a bit too much. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 365. Where are you, a stinky brat? How dare you hit that lady's woman's mind? Are you tired of living? Lu Sheng scolded the old man. I'm sorry, this witch is my woman. That old corpse emperor, let him go as far as he wants. Wang Ran said lightly. Your woman. Ha ha. Our witch is a virgin, so if you make excuses, you should find a reliable one. Lu Sheng and the others laughed. Sorry, this witch's virginity was just taken away by me. I still remember a mole on her butt. Wang Ran said with a smile. The expressions of Lu Sheng and the others changed instantly. What Wang Ran said has a similar pattern, is it true? But they don't know if there is a mole on the witch's butt. The old man Liu Hung looked at Yuya. Yuya blushed and bit her lip tightly. The old man Lu Sheng was shocked. This. Judging from Yuya's reaction, what Wang Ran said, seems to be true. How long does it take? It won't be long since the shrine maiden escaped until now. Is this young man so fast? If it's true, then things are going to be troublesome. The Lord made it clear that the priestess needed to remain virgins. If you let him know about the shrine maiden and this unknown man, he'll be furious. Yuya was also a little stunned with a startled head. I have a mole on my butt, how could this man know? Did he peep at himself taking a bath? Yuya was ashamed and annoyed, unaware that Wang Ran had come to her side. Ah, you can't get so close. Yuya wanted to step back. This distance is enough to turn the awakened into a zombie. What Yuya didn't expect was that Wang Ran directly reached out and grabbed Yuya's fair and delicate wrist. Ah! This! Yuya was shocked. She felt the temperature from Wang Ran's palm. Wang Ran looked as if nothing had happened. Could it be? The curse on me, removed. Yuya muttered. She had seen too many miserable ends of people who wanted to get close to her before, but she never thought that Wang Ran would be fine. Wang Ran was a little surprised. The virus emanating from Yuya entered Wang Ran's body through breathing and contact. Wang Ran found that these viruses were a bit like the original virus in Ada's body, but the virus in Yuya's body was much more volatile and could be spread more easily. Could it be that Yuya is also a carrier of the original virus? Lord Liu Hung, look. The witch was in contact with that person, and that person is actually fine. A priest on the stairs said in surprise. How is this possible? Could it be that the virus on the witch has dissipated? The old man Lu Sheng muttered. It's possible. We have been taking protective measures during this period of time and may not have noticed it. Look, isn't that person okay? A level 5 awakened contacted the witch before, but couldn't resist, and was turned into a zombie. Is this person more powerful than the 5th level awakened? Someone muttered. The old man Lu Sheng looked at Wang Ran and nodded. This young man looks like a tourist, probably just wandering here. This kind of passerby can withstand it, and it seems that the virus on the witch has really subsided. Come on, take the witch back. Even if you're not a virgin, you have to give that adult an explanation. As for that young man, if he ruined our good deeds, just kill him. The old man Liu Zhong gave the order. More than a dozen priests took off the gas masks that were in the way and rushed towards Wang Ran and Yuya. Ah! Not good. They're coming. Let's run away. Yuya came back to her senses and pulled Wang Ran's hand. It's okay, it's just scum. Wang Ran put the snacks on the steps, ready to start slapping. Just when the dozen or so priests ran not far from the two of them, their footsteps suddenly slowed down. The two people running at the front reached out and grabbed their necks. Not good, it's a virus. The virus on the witch is still there. We were deceived. They all stopped one by one, showing pained expressions. Before long, their eyes changed. Turned into a zombie. Roar. These dozen people stared at Wang Ran. They were angry and unwilling. A good-looking person turned into a zombie just like that. This. What's the matter? The old man Yajiao, who was not far away, immediately put on the gas mask back. This situation shows that the poison in the witch is as strong as before. But why is that young man okay? Could it be that his strength is strong enough to resist the virus on the witch? Either way, it's not a good thing. Lu Sheng didn't think much about turning around and running towards the top of the mountain. And the dozen or so zombie priests rushed towards Wang Ran and Yuya. Careful! Yuya's little heart was beating fast. Although she has the strength of a 3rd level awakener, her combat experience is basically equal to 0. Coupled with the injury on the foot, it is definitely impossible to run away. Now, I can only rely on this, a man with a dishonest mouth. Wang Ran's face was calm, holding Yuya with one hand and slapped with the other. Most of these zombies have the strength of the silver pupil level, and the most powerful one is the golden pupil. Wang Ran fanned effortlessly, slapped his head and slapped his head. Soon, these zombies became corpses one after another. Yuya, who was behind Wang Ran, was stunned for a moment. She had never seen such a scene. Okay, it's done. Let's go. Wang Ran picked up the snacks on the ground and dragged Yuya away. Etc. Why should I go with you? Yuya suddenly reacted. I don't even know this person. Oh, right. It was your brother who asked me to come here to save you. That's what he told me about the mole on your butt. Wang Ran explained. My brother? Yuan Tai. How is he now? Yuya asked nervously. He's fine now, with your grandpa. I'll take you to find them now. Wang Ran said with a smile. What? Yuya was stunned. According to what Wang Ran just said, it sounds quite credible. After all, her family knew about the mole on her butt. Wang Ran said that he could take her to find her family. No. No. Yuya suddenly exclaimed. Pi time is up. Naobu Yosuji recently had a very troublesome thing. He swapped bodies with a girl named Kagura. Then he saw Kagura holding his body to tease her own friend. If this is the case, he is not at a loss anyway. But as Kagura brought him more and more troubles, Naobu Yosuji regretted it. Naobu Yosuji, What are you doing with my body? Kagura, it won't die if you use it. Physical quid pro quo, when two people are in high spirits. What have you done with my body? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 366. Everyone near me will. Yuya looked at the corpses all over the place. They all turned into zombies without exception. Hey, wait. What's your situation? Why are you okay? Yuya looked at Wang Ran carefully. There is nothing unusual about this person, which is not normal. With the virus on your body, what else do you want? However, I really can't take you back just like that. The entire camp will be turned into a zombie den. Wang Ran touched his chin and said. The virus concentration on Yuya is similar to that of Ada, but the spread is obviously much stronger. For zombies, Yuya is a walking energy pool, but for humans, it is a gas bomb. Gotta figure out a solution. Well, I can't hurt you Entai and the others. Yuya nodded. She is a very kind witch, otherwise she would not be so easily fooled and voluntarily locked in the shrine. Let's go down the mountain first. The corpses here are too unsightly. Wang Ran led Yuya down the mountain. Oops, it hurts. Yuya slumped and almost fell to the ground. The wound on the sole of her foot was still bleeding. The way down the mountain is full of steps, and it is impossible to walk. Wang Ran looked at the blood stains on the steps and knew that Yuya's injury was on the soles of her feet. Now that the steps are full of zombie corpses, it is still a bit inconvenient to stay here to deal with the wound. Wang Ran decided to go down the mountain first. Come on my back. Wang Ran walked forward 2 squares and squatted down slightly. Yuya was stunned. Does this mean, to carry oneself back? Yuya has never had such close contact with boys. However, my foot was injured, and this is not a place to stay for long. Hey, just put your back on it. Yuya lifted up her red dress and gently lay on Wang Ran's back. The next action made Yuya blushed all of a sudden. Wang Ran actually stretched out his hand to support her thigh. Yuya's cheeks were red and hot, and she didn't dare to say a word. What if the family just simply backs themselves? If you don't mind, you'll be embarrassed. In this way, Wang Ran carried Yuya all the way down. Yuya's red dress, red face, and red torii gaits along the road constitute a perfect picture. It's a pity that Wang Ran was watching the road intently and didn't notice the scenery around him. After walking for a while, Yuya also knew that Wang Ran had no special thoughts, and felt a little relieved. Lying on Wang Ran's back, Yuya felt an indescribable sense of security. Moreover, Wang Ran's back was warm and comfortably set. Unconsciously, Yuya was a little sleepy, and she fell asleep before she reached the foot of the mountain. Hey, you can come down. When he reached the foot of the mountain, Wang Ran turned his head and said. As a result, he saw a cute face that was sleeping soundly. A saliva hung down from the corner of his mouth, wetting Wang Ran's shoulders. Oops, my clothes. Wang Ran sighed. Your clothes are branded. Forget it, it's just saliva. Tang Tang's other water has been sprayed on the clothes. What is this saliva? Wang Ran carefully placed Yuya in the back seat of the car. By the way, her foot seems to be hurt. Wang Ran leaned down and picked up Yuya's injured little foot. One of the white socks had been stained red with blood. Wang Ran took off Yuya's socks and looked at her feet. It's just a skin injury. Foot, it doesn't stink, it's quite fragrant. Wang Ran subconsciously smelled it. The wound on Yuya's foot has not healed yet, and blood is slowly seeping out. Wang Ran is an old doctor, and he is very professional in treating injuries. However, Wang Ran didn't want to scratch his palm for such a small wound, It would be too wasteful. Or lick it? How could I have such a strange idea? Wang Ran was amused by himself as soon as he stuck out his tongue. Wang Ran has only tried Suziao, Lu Shuang, Wu Jiaxin, Lu Shiyao, Lin Shuang, and a few girls who forgot their numbers. They all have long legs, and it's a bit of a waste not to lick. Strangers, a bit embarrassing. Forget it, this little injury, or if you cut your finger, forget it. Just as Wang Ran was about to start, Yuya suddenly woke up. With a confused face, Yuya saw a man holding her feet with his tongue sticking out. Is this about licking your own feet? In a panic, Yuya kicked forward with her little foot, which happened to hit Wang Ran's tongue. Hiss. Wang Ran's tongue hurt, and he gasped for a few breaths. You man, hentai. Yuya stepped back, her legs tucked into the red skirt, her eyes were full of fear. I wanted to praise this man for being serious just now, but I didn't expect him to do such a thing while he was asleep. I'm treating you. Wang Ran's face twitched. I've been treated like a pervert. Treat? Is there any treatment for sticking out the tongue? Don't lie to me that saliva can disinfect. Yuya hugged her knees and stared at Wang Ran in panic. Look at the soles of your feet and see if there are any wounds. Wang Ran sighed. Just now, the soles of her feet had kicked her tongue firmly. It is estimated to have healed. You, don't lie to me. Yuya's little feet slowly stretched out. She lifted her foot and looked at it, stunned for a moment. Nanny. Really, really healed. Yuya was shocked. She had never heard of such a wound that would heal with a lick. Simply amazing. Believe it this time. Wang Ran shrugged. Sorry, I misunderstood you. Your tongue, is it okay? Yuya knelt on the back seat and saluted Wang Ran. It's okay, I usually exercise my tongue. Okay, your feet are healed, let's go. This car is out of gas, we have to find a car with more gas first. Wang Ran stood up and said. From Jingdu to Daban, if you walk, you have to walk dead. Ah, okay, wait a minute. Yuya picked up the socks next to them and put them back on. She has no shoes, it would be a little better to wear a pair of socks. Wang Ran looked at Yuya and sighed. This thin-skinned and tender-fleshed little footboard is estimated to be injured again after walking a few steps. Come on my back. Wang Ran turned around and squatted in front of Yuya. Yuya's heart warmed. This person is so considerate. Add more. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 367. At the foot of the mountain, there are various shops selling souvenirs. Most of the stores are empty of people, and there are 1 or 2 zombies stuck in the counters of very few stores, which have long been turned into mummified corpses. When passing a shop selling fans, Wang Ran clearly felt that Yuya behind him trembled slightly. Wang Ran stopped. Do you like folding fans? Just take it away. Wang Ran turned his face and said. Ah, is this really possible? Yuya was a little embarrassed. After all, this is a white take. Why don't you ask him if he wants to charge you? Wang Ran pointed at the mummified corpse on the ground and said with a smile. Yuya was stunned. Everyone is dead, and if they can talk, they will be damned. Wang Ran walked over with Yuya on his back, reached out and grabbed a folding fan, and handed it to Yuya behind him. Ah, how did you know I like this? Yuya was a little surprised. This is fate. Wang Ran was talking nonsense. He guessed that girls like Yuya would not like the folding fans with the big divine fist and fist wish Azura next to them. Wang Ran continued to walk forward with Yuya on his back. When passing a restaurant, Wang Ran saw a rickshaw parked at the door. This rickshaw is estimated to be used to take pictures of tourists. However, now it comes in handy. Wang Ran put Yuya on the car, grabbed the pole himself, and pulled the car to run forward. This is much more efficient than carrying her behind her back. Running and running, Wang Ran always felt a little strange. I obviously came to travel, how can I feel like I have become a camel Xiangzi now? Yuya, who was sitting in the car, was in a happy mood. She has been locked up for a long time, and she can finally escape today. The scenery outside looks so beautiful to her. The man in front who rescued her looks very pleasing to the eye too. As the sun went down, the sky gradually darkened. Wang Ran stopped at a JR line platform. There is a parking lot further ahead. There should be a lot of cars, but at night, the lights are blinding, and it is a bit dangerous to drive only by the lights. Let's find a clean carriage for a night's rest. Wang Ran said. Well, listen to you. Yuya nodded. She felt that what the man said was right. When getting out of the car, Yuya naturally stretched out her hands forward. This is what it means to carry. Wang Ran turned around with a wry smile. It's out of habit, right? It looks like I'll have to find a pair of shoes for her sooner. Wang Ran came to the platform with Yuya on his back, and there were several JR trains parked on it. There are a lot of black palm prints on the carriage, and it seems that the situation here was quite tragic before. Are we staying here for the night? There won't be any zombies here. Yuya was a little worried. I said that you are a third-level awakener, why are you so cowardly? It's just zombies, just kill them when they come. Wang Ran sighed. But, I'm not an awakener who is good at fighting. I may not even be able to beat a first-level awakener. Yuya lowered her head in embarrassment. Wang Ran thought about it, and it seemed to make sense. The characteristics of Yuya, I guess she is a support-type awakener. It's easy to understand if you're not good at fighting. I won't sleep too hard at night. You can rest assured. Wang Ran carried Yuya into a carriage. The inside of the car was pitch black and had a faint smell of blood. Still, it's at least a shelter from the wind and rain, and a place to lie down. Wang Ran distributed a package of snacks to Yuya, and then sat down leisurely. Yuya was a little embarrassed at first, but after tearing the package, she couldn't help it. After escaping, her appetite was much better than before, and these snacks smelled so good. A few minutes later, Yuya touched her belly with a contented face. However, the next moment she was embarrassed again. That, Wang Ranjun, I think. I want to go to the toilet. Yuya blushed and said with her head lowered. Oh, let's go then. Wang Ran didn't care. But, I don't have any shoes. Yuya's voice became lighter. The meaning of this is obvious, it is for Wang Ran to carry her for convenience. It's not good. Otherwise, it's convenient for you to find a car, or find a toilet. This car should have a toilet. The ground in the carriage is quite flat, and you should be able to walk by yourself. Wang Ran suggested. It's embarrassing to think about in front of people you haven't known for a long time. Ah, okay. Then you are not allowed to peek. Yuya felt a little embarrassed after saying that. People don't take the opportunity to carry their own convenience, and take the initiative to persuade themselves to go to the next car for convenience, how can they peep? I really have a little heart. Yuya blushed, opened the compartment door and walked to the rear compartment. In the carriage, it seems a little strange. I'm still looking for the toilet. Yuya hesitated for a while, but gave up the idea of being convenient in the carriage. Yuya continued to walk forward in the dark. Toilets are not found at the junction of every carriage, and Yuya can only continue to go deeper. After walking 2 carriages, Yuya finally found the toilet. Crack. Yuya pulled the door and seemed to be stuck. However, Yuya was an awakener anyway, and with a little force, the door was still opened. Suddenly, there was a zombie in the toilet that jumped directly at Yuya. What? Yuya was shocked and subconsciously slapped her hand. Grumble. The head of this zombie was shot directly and rolled to the ground. It turned out that this was a zombie locked in the toilet, which had been dead for a long time. As soon as the door opened, he fell out. Yuya stuck out her tongue. She was so timid, even dead zombies could scare her. After kicking the zombie body aside, Yuya walked into the toilet. When I opened the door with too much force, the door could not be locked. Yuya could only close the door. It's time to release. After a few minutes, Yuya felt relieved. Just as Yuya lifted her skirt, footsteps suddenly came from the passageway outside the door. Wang Ranjun. Is he still here to peek? Yuya pouted, a little unhappy. Fortunately, I have already finished the convenience, otherwise I will be taken advantage of. Click, click. The footsteps were getting closer and closer, accompanied by the sound of something hitting the carriage. Huh? This voice. Could it be? Yuya was shocked. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 368. This sound is clearly the sound of knuckle tapping. It's a zombie. Zombies are in the passageway at the door of the toilet. Yuya suddenly panicked. How did the zombies find here? I didn't make any sound when it was convenient for me. Could it be that, the virus emanating from your body attracted them? Yuya didn't dare to make a sound, so she could only hold the door panel with her hands, hoping that the zombies outside could walk away. The footsteps stopped outside the toilet door. The knocking of fingernails came to the door of the toilet. It seemed that the zombies outside had discovered Yuya's hiding place. Snapped. A sharp claw pierced the door of the toilet directly, sliding a wound on Yuya's cheek. What? Help, Wang Ranjun! Yuya shouted while blocking the door. The zombies outside the door withdrew their claws and put them in their mouths to taste. Delicious, so delicious. After eating you, I will definitely be promoted to become the corpse emperor. The eyes of the zombie outside the door flashed red. The little bit of blood on his paws made his whole body energized. This taste is amazing. At night, I followed the smell and found the baby. Yuya was about to cry. If I had known earlier, it would be convenient for me to be in the next compartment. In this case, if any zombies come, Wang Ran can save her in time. There were several carriages away now, and he didn't know whether Wang Ran could hear her cry for help. Boom! The red-eyed zombie outside punched the door again. This time, half of the door was directly blasted. Yuya and the zombie met eyes. Tisk tisk tisk, she's still a witch. Probably still a virgin. Looks like I can have a good time before I eat it. The red-eyed zombie smiled proudly. Tonight, he was idle and bored out for a stroll, and he could still have such a harvest. It is indeed a reward. Yuya was about to cry. Why are these zombies so perverted, thinking about their own body all the time? Are you so popular with zombies? Wang Ranjun, why haven't you come yet? Yuya now desperately hopes that Wang Ran can come and peek at her, so that at least it can save her. The red-eyed zombie outside the door grabbed the remaining half of the door and pulled it hard. The entire door panel was torn off. Nothing stood in front of him and Yuya. Just when the red-eyed zombie was about to reach out to catch Yuya, he was suddenly stunned. There are footsteps. The cautious red-eyed zombie looked to the side. A young human nibbling on melon seeds came out of the darkness. The moonlight just passed through the compartment door and hit him in the face. Wang Ranjun. Yuya's eyes instantly became wet. Wang Ran appeared just in time. Wang Ranjun under the moonlight is so charming. Tisk tisk tisk, is there a late night snack? I'm lucky today. The red-eyed zombie squinted and smiled. This area is sparsely populated, and everyone who can eat almost. Didn't expect to meet two at a time today. Simply perfect. Wang Ran walked towards the red-eyed zombie with a calm face. Zombies of this level cannot be dealt with a single slap. The red-eyed zombie looked at Wang Ran getting closer and closer, and suddenly there was a trace of fear in his heart. Intuition told him that this man who came over was very dangerous. No way. Could he be an awakener above level 6? The red-eyed zombie's forehead began to sweat. At his level, it is very cherishing his life. Although the smell of this witch is very attractive, but compared with his own life, of course, his life is more important. The gas in my house is on, I'll go first. The red-eyed zombie made a random excuse and ran away. Tisk tisk tisk, the zombies in the island country are too cowardly. The head is not iron at all. Wang Ran picked up the shards of the door panel on the ground and slammed it out at the red-eyed zombie. The door panel fragments were directly inserted into the back of the red-eyed zombie's head. The poor guy hadn't even run a few steps before he got his lunch. Are you alright? I said, why you run so far with shit? I won't peek. Wang Ran shrugged at Yuya. Yuya rushed towards Wang Ran directly, the tears in her eyes couldn't hold back. Almost, she lost her life and lost her life. Hey, is your face hurt? Wang Ran saw the wound on Yuya's cheek. The stroke was so deep that the blood couldn't stop. Wait a minute. Wang Ran walked to the corpse of the red-eyed zombie. Under Yuya's surprised gaze, Wang Ran raised his leg and stomped on the head of the red-eyed zombie. Puff puff. This poor ghost's head was directly trampled into a puddle of flesh. Yuya's tears welled up again. Is he venting his anger for himself? Very moving. Apart from her own family, no one has ever treated her so well. Okay, go back to our car, and I'll treat you. Wang Ran took Yuya's hand and walked towards the previous carriage. Zhizzy. Yuya remembered the previous picture of Wang Ran treating her wound on the sole of her foot. It's just, so embarrassing. Should the wound on the face be treated like this? I have never had such intimate contact with a man before. In a trance, the two have returned to the previous carriage. The moonlight poured in through the window, and the inside of the car was not completely dark. Yuya sat on the seat nervously, pinching her red skirt with her fingers. Come on, turn your face around. Wang Ran ordered. Yuya responded like a mosquito, obediently turned the wound to Wang Ran's side, and closed her eyes nervously. The long eyelashes trembled slightly, just like Yuya's mood at this time. Wang Ran was stunned. The play is over. I'm just healing my wounds, don't act like I'm making a small movie. After sighing, Wang Ran took out the dagger. Such a deep wound can't be done by licking, it still needs some blood. Wang Ran cut open his fingers decisively, and then put the wound directly on Yuya's face. Yuya immediately felt the warmth. The pain of the wound is gone, and there is still a very comfortable feeling. Yuya slowly opened her eyes. Hey, is it a finger? Finding that Wang Ran didn't use her tongue, Yuya felt a little bit of loss in her heart. However, the wound on her face healed quickly. Before long, her face was smooth again. Ah! It's amazing. There are no wounds at all. Yuya touched her face, tears in her eyes with excitement. As a beautiful girl, she must be very concerned about her face. Wang Ranjun, thank you so much, I don't even know how to repay you. Yuya looked at Wang Ran gratefully. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Da Cha Xiao. Chapter 369. Thank you so much. I'm here to travel. If you know any tourist attractions, you can act as a tour guide for me. Wang Ran said with a smile. Ah, I know something about this. If it is Jingdu, Kiyomizu Temple and Arashiyama are both good attractions. Ah, and Jun. Yuya thought about it for a while. Okay, rest early today, and go for a walk tomorrow. Wang Ran sat beside Yuya and leaned back. Yuya blushed. Are you going to sleep next to each other? All right. The two did not speak, each preparing to go to sleep. Wang Ran closed his eyes and breathed in an even rhythm. He clearly felt the breath of Yuya's body. This kind of breath, with a strong virus smell, is very attractive to zombies. The red-eyed zombie just now was probably attracted by this breath. For Wang Ran, breathing next to Yuya can also inhale these viruses into his body, slightly enhancing his strength. That's not a good ability. Wang Ran muttered in his heart. In exchange for weaker people, this concentration of virus is enough to make them mutate into zombies. If Yuya goes back like this, Yuan-Tai and the whole camp will suffer. The reason why Wang Ran wanted to walk around Jingdu was to see if he could find a solution to this problem. Hey, go to sleep first. With Wang Ran's strength, he would instinctively wake up when a zombie approached. Soon, Wang Ran fell asleep. Yuya is different. She had never slept next to a man. Even the younger brother Yuan-Tai slept separately. Now next to Wang Ran like this, she has an indescribable feeling in her heart. After struggling for a long time, Yuya slowly fell asleep. Under the night, several zombies were approaching the carriage. They were all attracted by the aura emanating from Yuya. Wang Ran woke up naturally. Acute hearing and instinctive reflexes make him never miss anything approaching. Wang Ran looked at Yuya, who was sleeping, and quietly walked out of the carriage. When the zombies outside saw Wang Ran, they roared and rushed over like beasts who saw food. Wang Ran still slapped a zombie, and quickly got rid of these guys. Everyone who can come nearby is probably here. I should be able to sleep well in the second half of the night. Wang Ran wiped his hands with the zombie's clothes and walked back to the carriage leisurely. In the carriage, Yuya still slept soundly. Wang Ran sat down beside her. The smell emanating from Yuya made Wang Ran feel a little restless. It's a restlessness that goes deep into the cells. Wang Ran couldn't help but approached Yuya. Just take a breath and go to sleep. Wang Ran muttered in his heart. Yuya fell asleep, so she shouldn't find out. Wang Ran leaned over to Yuya's neck and took a deep breath. A gust of energy rushed directly to Wang Ran's brain, making Wang Ran a little flirtatious. Is this what it feels like to smoke? It's very exciting. Wang Ran muttered in his heart. One more bite, just one bite. Wang Ran leaned closer to Yuya's neck again and took a deep breath. At this time, Yuya just opened her eyes. The two looked at each other, and the atmosphere was extremely awkward. Yuya's cheeks suddenly became hot. She felt a little bit when Wang Ran took her first breath. As soon as he opened his eyes, he happened to meet Wang Ran taking a second breath. What is this doing? Sucking cats? Could it be that this man is really interested in himself, but he doesn't want to violate himself, so he uses this method to comfort himself? This is too great. Thinking of Wang Ran's protection and respect for him along the way, Yuya decisively affirmed this. This man is so righteous. Actually, if you want to kiss, you can kiss. Yuya's voice trembled slightly, as if she mustered up the courage to say it. That, I want you to kiss my wound, I'm afraid it won't heal. Yuya quickly added an unreliable explanation. After speaking, Yuya's face was already hot. This is the first time she has asked a man to kiss her. She had absolutely no idea what to do next. What if this man has other actions after kissing? Do you obey or not resist? So tangled. Okay, don't think too much, just go to sleep. After Wang Ran finished speaking, he sat upright and closed his eyes. Yuya breathed a sigh of relief. But for some reason, she always felt a little lost in her heart. It's daybreak. Wang Ran stood up and moved his hands and feet, then took out a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a bottle of mineral water from his backpack. Yuya, who opened her eyes, was shocked. Is this really for traveling? Are things so complete? Hey, do you brush your teeth? After Wang Ran finished brushing, he handed the toothbrush and toothpaste to Yuya. Yuya nodded. She is a delicate girl, and brushing her teeth cannot be avoided even in the end. As soon as Yuya put the toothbrush in her mouth, she realized. This is the toothbrush that Wang Ran just brushed. This is not the same as indirect. Forget it, put it all in, and it's not easy to pull it out. Yuya grabbed the toothbrush and put it in and out of her mouth, and soon a lot of foam overflowed from the corner of her mouth. After brushing his teeth, Wang Ran took Yuya out of the carriage. Ah! So many zombies. Yuya looked at the corpses on the ground and covered her mouth in shock. It seemed that Wang Ran had been protecting her while she was sleeping last night. This made Yuya a little moved. The smell on your body is very attractive to zombies. These were all smelled last night. Wang Ran explained. When Yuya heard this, she suddenly thought of Wang Ran's breathing near her neck last night. It seems that people didn't want to belittle themselves at the time, they just wanted to smell it. I'm thinking more about myself. Look to see if there are any shoes that fit your feet. Pick up a pair and wear them first. Wang Ran suggested. Yuya nodded and tiptoed around in the pile of corpses. Really let her find a pair of shoes that fit her feet. Although these were passed through by zombies, in this situation, no one would compare them. After putting on her shoes, Yuya followed Wang Ran towards the parking lot. After some searching, Wang Ran chose a GTR. This car with a girl is enough to pull the wind. Let's go to the nearest attractions first. Wang Ran started the car. The powerful acceleration performance directly brings a violent pushback feeling. The acceleration of this car was much faster than that of Wuling Hongguang, and Wang Ran almost hit the street light. Add more. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 370. While driving, Wang Ran was thinking about how to solve the problem of the spread of the virus on Yuya. If this is not resolved, Wang Ran would not dare to take her back to MRSUN. Unfortunately, Wang Ran is not as good at studying viruses as Lu Shiyao. What Wang Ran is best at is all kinds of treatment methods. I don't know whether the traditional treatment methods work or not. Of course, Wang Ran didn't dare to rush forward to treat Yuya. After all, everyone was not very familiar, and he didn't know whether this treatment would work or not. If you don't go back, you will become MRSUN's brother-in-law. After galloping on the empty road for a while, Wang Ran came to a scenic spot in the city, Jun. Anyway, I can't think of a way, why don't I travel first? Jun is the largest geisha district in Jingdu, and next door is another famous attraction, Yasaka Shrine. You can visit 2 scenic spots in such a place, which is very cost-effective. Wang Ran walked into the path of Jun under the leadership of Yuya. On both sides of the path, there are buildings full of historical styles. In addition to the terrible silence, they are also quite artistic. You said that your country is also true, and there are so many tricks. Let's put it there, it's all massage, foot wash shops. Wang Ran sighed while walking. What are you thinking? It's a geisha. Not a geisha. Yuya stomped her feet. You're talking about a custom shop. Yuya added. So Disney. Wang Ran suddenly realized. It's not a red light district. Then there's nothing going on. When Wang Ran was about to return home, there were dense footsteps in the alleys on both sides of the path. There were also subtle noises in the wooden houses along the way. Wang Ran Jun, it seems like someone. Yuya reminded. It shouldn't be a human, it's a zombie. It's probably attracted by the smell on your body. Wang Ran smiled. Ah. I'm so sorry. I stayed on the top of the mountain before, I didn't know I could attract so many zombies. Yuya felt very guilty. You put Wang Ran in danger. Calm down, it's all scum. Wang Ran was comforted. Scum. All right. Yuya nodded. Before Wang Ran killed zombies on the mountain, he slapped one by one. The red-eyed zombie in the carriage was also stabbed to death by him. Wang Ran's strength does give people a strong sense of security. Soon, many female zombies in geisha costumes came out from the wooden houses and alleys along the street. Wang Ran and Yuya were blocked in the middle of the road. A red-eyed female zombie with a pale face and a paper umbrella in her hand walked in front of Wang Ran. It seems that she is the boss here. Humanity. Yo, the smell on this little sister, it smells good. Are you interested in joining us? I'm sure you'll be the best geisha ever. The red-eyed female zombie covered her mouth and asked with a smile. Yuya only felt her body go cold. Although this red-eyed female zombie is smiling, it makes people feel very scary. Especially her pale face. I don't know if it's powdered or if it's just that white. If you see it at night, you will be scared half your life. You're the one in charge, aren't you? Let them get out of the way. I'm too lazy to do it. Wang Ran also responded with a smile. The red-eyed female zombie was stunned for a while, and looked at Wang Ran carefully. So calm. It's not like it's pretending. It seems that this person should have some strength. After briefly weighing the pros and cons, the red-eyed female zombie clapped her hands. The female zombies who stuck their heads out at the entrance of the alley shrank back one after another. Human, you are interesting. Would you like to sit down and have a cup of tea with my sister? The red-eyed female zombie asked with a smile. Okay, it would be even better if there were more performances or something. Wang Ran shrugged. Anyway, it's a tourist, and it's good to see traditional skills. The red-eyed female zombie was stunned. I said it casually, but I didn't expect this human to agree so. This is too rude. Are humans not afraid of zombies now? After all the words were spoken, the red-eyed female zombie had to take Wang Ran and Yuya into an art gallery. As soon as they entered, several female zombies in costumes greeted them. The service is still in place. The female zombie made tea for Wang Ran and Yuya and served a dried fruit plate. It didn't take long for the string music to sound, and the female zombies began a traditional geisha performance. Yuya was quite engaged, while Wang Ran felt a little bored. The faces of these geisha were pale one by one, and it was unknown whether it was because they were powdered or because they were zombies. Wang Ran really couldn't appreciate it. However, the tea they brewed was quite fragrant. Little human brother, this sister. It feels very special. It's a very dangerous thing for you to take her everywhere. The red-eyed female zombie reminded her with a smile. There's no danger, but it's a little troublesome to wash your hands all the time. Wang Ran smiled. Hand washing. The red-eyed female zombie didn't understand why Wang Ran said that. By the way, is the smell on her body really so attractive to you zombies? Wang Ran asked. Of course, as long as the wind blows, I can smell this sweet smell from far away. Little sister, are you still a virgin? The red-eyed female zombie looked at Yuya and asked. Ah. Yes. Yuya's face instantly turned red. She didn't know why the red-eyed female zombie asked that. What does it have to do with this? Wang Ran asked curiously. He. I've been in this business for 20 years, and I've seen quite a few girls. Some girls have a very special body fragrance since they were young. This phenomenon is often seen in other organisms as well. Essentially, it's a biological instinct to attract the opposite spontaneously. The situation of this young lady should be somewhat similar to this phenomenon. The red-eyed female zombie explained. Oh? Is there a way to solve it? Wang Ran's eyes lit up. This female zombie said something like, maybe there is a way. If you can solve the problem on Yuya, Wang Ran can take her back to reunite with you and Tai. From my experience over the years, there is only one way to make this little sister stop exuding this smell. The red-eyed female zombie closed her fan and leaned forward. Any solution? Yuya was the most excited, staring at the red-eyed female zombie. The red-eyed female zombie took a deep breath of the breath emanating from Yuya's body and smiled slightly. Well, it's actually very simple. Just break your body. The girls I have brought under my command range from 500 to 300. Among them, more than a dozen are born with body fragrance. After they broke, the scent disappeared without exception. I think you can try it too. The red-eyed female zombie said with a smile.